This is Todd Schultz in my Module 3 for EDL 853. I interviewed my school principal, special education teacher, and paraprofessional in the building. Most of what we talked about were three basic questions. I asked them for advice of what they would give to a first-year administrator. My building principal talked about the legalities, of course. He instructed me to be very, very organized and to have a lot of communication amongst myself, the staff, and the parents in regards to these students. The paraprofessional also doubled down on organization being very crucial for the first year administrator, keeping up with all of the IEP meetings, the 529s, everything that has to do with a student in the classroom. Also indicated that I should be very patient, which was an overlap with the classroom teacher on this question. I asked them second, what concerns should they have for an administrator in regards to special education? What things should I look for that they are concerned about with me completing as an administrator? The main overlap was consistency. They wanted fairness. They wanted me to be equal among all situations, all circumstances with each student and each parent. This was critical and actually the first or second thing that each of my building teachers and paras would say, that they wanted fairness and consistency in my decision-making process. Other sides of what they would like me to see have high regards for these students was a trust and an ability to make decisions and be fair. Also have oversight, make decisions, and stick with them. Third question I asked them was, how does the administration work effectively with the parents of special needs students? This is something that I think every building teacher and administrator has dealt with before, and you can't deal with it enough to be successful at it. It's a very difficult situation. But what I got from my teacher para and my administrator, mainly that they want backing in the classroom. They want me to be able to talk to a parent and say, have you talked to this teacher yet? Have you communicated with the teacher in this instance, whether it's a problem or as something that's a positive? The administrator then again referred back to the legalities of the situation, making sure that I'm very, very well informed on the legal matters in talking to, writing emails to, communicating with parents of special needs students. And the fourth question I went very in-depth on with them because I felt it was a question that could be very general and also very, very specific at the same time. I asked them what the most challenging aspect of their position was in regards to special education. And I felt this was a way for me as a future administrator to look at some of the things that I might take into consideration. The classroom teacher talked about following accommodations to a T and contacting and communicating with parents quite often to avoid angry parents, which is what one of the paras told me was her biggest fear and her biggest stress at her job. The classroom teacher wants resources and room collaboration. They want to be able to go back and forth between regular ed and special ed and have collaboration and resources shared. Now, the administration that I talked to, one of the stories that was told of me during the interview was that they felt that no matter what the situation was with the classroom teacher or the para, that it all fell on them, that they were responsible for the end result. And that's something to take into high consideration as we move into administration ourselves. My reflection was very, very thought out. I thought that I could relate to each and every one of the candidates that I interviewed. I understood their points of view. I understood their concerns and their joys that they shared in their job. I understood that it's a learning community, that everybody has to contribute equally or as much as possible for that. Each party was really willing to share with me, so I was grateful for that. And the most common theme I found was that they had a sincere compassion for educating special needs students. The evaluation of comparing those three interviews, I found that they all had some common themes. They were dependability among staff and administration, trust, administration, and legalities, patience, and trustworthiness were all among those most common themes. The classroom teachers wanted more input and assistance from administration. Some of them One that I interviewed actually talked that they hadn't felt that an administrator was in their classroom hardly at all in the last several years, giving them input. The projections that I see myself needing to take into consideration as a future administrator are pretty simple. I realize that I've just skimmed the surface and I want to gain more and more knowledge and experience in special education for that because it's such a crucial aspect of the learning environment. And I really first understand that I do have a desire for this. I've had family members with special needs, and I do think this is a necessary type of the education in the building. And as a future administrator, I want to be able to trust my staff. I want to be able to hire highly skilled staff, so I hope that I have the money to do so when it comes to building paras on hourly rates that are classified staff, not certified. And I want to also be compassionate towards the special needs students, building rapport with them and relying on me as a leader and as someone who's on their side throughout the whole year. Thank you.